All right, welcome back to another episode of Crazy Dad's Garage. I'm back here working on the next rat rod project, version 2, I guess. So we showed you the two cabs that we got here a while back. I've started in today. I don't want to bore you with all the gory details, but I am deconstructing the bullet riddled cab over there. You can see I got the front fenders off of it and everything. I'll flip the camera around here, just walk you through what I'm doing. It's nothing big. Most at this point I'm disassembling stuff and getting ready. So I'll flip the camera around here and we will fill you in on a little detail. So here we sit with our, this is our 54, and haven't done really much of anything to it yet, but we are back over here working on this old, I'm going to call it a 48. I don't know which year it actually is, but it's the early part of that series. Anyway, what I've done so far, I've taken the front fenders and the whole front clip off. What I ended up with out of that was actually a quite good grill. That grill that was in this thing, for as bad as this has been shot up and abused, was actually in pretty decent shape. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll be great rat rod material. And then I've just gone about stripping stuff off here. I'm pulling all the little stuff, little brackets, bolts, loose things off of firewall. I've pulled my door hinges out, got the hood hinges taken off of it. What else have I done? Coming here, up here for all the shooting, that dome light was still in good shape except for the glass. So the frame and the body of it was all there, so I've got one of those. I've got the bolts broken off of that column drop where the steering column goes, but it's rusted to the bolt, so I got to beat on that a little bit, try to get it off. I'll probably pull that sun visor off up there by the light. Don't know how good a shape it's in, but it might be something that's useful. Yeah. I don't know how much more I'm actually going to tear out of the inside of here. What I'm going to do now is flip this cab over on its back so that I can get a look at what the bottom of the floor looks like. You see how it might be fastened, what it looks like as far as difficulty goes. So that's really where I'm going to go next, and going to be probably the focal point of this video. So I'm going to go off camera here and get the thing turned upside down, and we'll come back and take a look at that and see if I can tell exactly what's got to happen so I can get that floor out of there. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so swapping this floor is not going to be as hard as I thought it would. It's going to be interesting because this one's already broken loose on a lot of this seam right here. And on this one, it's completely broken loose there. It's broken loose across here and down to there. And so because I need to, so down there in the back of the cab where they cut that spot out down there, I need to cut a chunk of the back of the cab from the parts truck off anyway, so I don't have to separate that down there at the seam where it's spot welded together, which should be down in that area. I'm not going to have to separate that, which will be really helpful. So I can come over here and make a vertical cut up there and a vertical cut up there through the back of the cab, and then across the bottom edge so that I get myself a piece that I can patch that slaughter with over there. Then that's going to make that fairly easy. Then, as we come here, if I cut it there, that means that I've got to, how did this go? I've got to drill out up these seams right here to there, and then there should be some spot welds here that fasten the back cab corner to it. And if I do that, that should completely free up the corner, free up the back. So do the same thing over there, up and around that curve and across there. Then that'll have the back freed up, because I want these side panels. The ones in my new other truck are okay, but these are equally as good, if not better. So then I'm going to get up here, and the side panel goes all the way up through to here. So I'm going to have to drill it loose along here, wherever it fastens to this, and then there'll be a line of spot welds right along here that fastens this to it, I think. I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit more to see those. But that will allow me to separate from the front pillar. Like I said, most of this is done. Come over here, do the same thing. So whatever's fastening it here, and then a line of them across here, and maybe right at the floor level. I might have to drill some more out there, but that should let that thing come out. And that one, because it's solid, should make me a nice replacement floor for my other one. Now, this one is not horrible. If I had it to work with, I would just have to patch some of that rust over there on the passenger side. The other rocker panel is bent just a little bit, but that would take 5 minutes to straighten it out. So I could reuse this one, but it's been abused a little bit. There's some holes back over there in the floor. It's been pulled. I don't know if it's loose from some spot welds there, but it's dented up pretty good and everything. And it's just a little rougher than that one. And if it's that simple to swap them, then that's what I'm going to do. That will also give me access to the back side over there to fix that rust out that we've got. And I've got a lot of those parts are pretty good here, but even the ones that aren't perfect, I can patch them up before I put them in. And that will get my main rust area taken care of. Outside of that, the other rust that I've got to deal with is where the fenders had attached on both front sides and then my cab corners. So that's actually going to be quite a bit easier than I was hoping for even. Now this cab has that bracket right there and the bumpers, and I'm assuming that was something to do with the old mounting system, but that is for a big truck. I don't think it's for this one, because this floor doesn't even have provisions for it back there. So I'm probably gonna lose that. I think I will at least unbolt it and get it out of the way until I know better. But yeah, that's gonna be a pretty straightforward swap, and I get a really good floor out of it that way. That just with minor cleanup will work just fine. So yeah, that should be a pretty good deal. I have to get this bracket off here, which is probably going to involve cutting that bolt. But I will get those things taken care of, and probably I think where I go from here is getting that floor out. So as I'm going to do most of that, I've showed you guys how to drill spot welds before and fixing the Crazy Dad bump side. So it's pretty much going to follow that same pattern. But I'm going to go ahead and get this one to the point that I'm ready to take that out, and then we'll come back and show you what we've got done. There we go. 3 or 4 hours of hard work and got ourselves a floor out of the old cab. Yeah, that was a lot of work, but you know what? It's in the way we do things here at Crazy Dad's Garage, the low buck method. I could have, invested myself 4 hours there and gotten a really good condition floor pan, or I could have spent several $1,000s and bought that, and that just does not fit into our low buck way of doing things here. So I've done several other things in the process. Not only have I gained myself a floor pan, ended up with the bottom of the back panel of the cab right there. If you remember over here, when they had patched that new panel in right there, it didn't fit. So I've got a big gap down at the bottom. So this piece that I've got cut off here will compensate for that, I'll be able to do that. The center support right there was just cut off down at the bottom and doesn't go to the floor like it's supposed to. And so I took out the center support of this cab, which I think that is specific to the big trucks to make it extra strong back there. I'm not positive, but I think that's what it is. But hey, it was there. It's super sturdy, and I can just put it right in place of the other one, and I'll be in good shape that way. So the other thing that I gained was some patch panels, because I've got all of this rust right down here, and there's actually 3 layers. So there's the outer skin here, which is that piece right there. That's actually for the other side. And then, hard to see, so that piece over there, that piece right there goes along the inside right in this area right here, and it's rusted out and in pretty bad shape on this truck. And then it has this panel right here, which is actually the inside. And I've got one of them. I actually cut the whole corner of the cab out there, versus this side I didn't. And I think, and that was actually for the passenger side, because it's the worst. So I've got it laying over there on the floor. So what that gained me was a chunk of usable floor. I've still got some rot right here, but I can repair that fairly easily with just some regular metal. Yeah, it's gonna clear out in this area, but anyway, I can do that really easily with another piece of metal. And since I'm not going for a full-blown restoration here, that's really not going to matter. The other thing is I've got rot here on my patch panel, but again, I can cut that off here, form myself a piece of curved metal to go there, and completely solve that problem. So in this process, then, I gain all of the parts to patch myself back up here where all this nasty rust is. And the only thing that I really haven't gained out of this is my lower cab corners, because the ones on this truck are rusted out too. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. You know, I left them on the other rat rod. I could leave them on this one. But as much metal work as I'm doing, I've found that I can pick them up for about 50 bucks a piece. So I may do that, unless I find some somewhere that I can cut off another old cab. But anyway, that's going to get me back in shape there. Plus, I think I showed this before, but I've got a whole bucket full of bolts over there. I've got all kinds of hinges and parts that came out of this thing. I got a pretty good collection of stuff up there that has come out of it. So this, all in all, this cab's gonna give up its life, what's left of it, for, to renew another one that's in much better shape, and it's going to go a long ways towards doing that. I don't know what else I'm going to take out of here. I don't know that there's anything I need. It might be when I get to cutting things open there, that it might be that I'm going to have to cut out this section right here to put on the inside of the cab corners, because on this one on both sides it's pretty good. And I still haven't looked closely at the cab corners. You can't really see them in the video here, so, but I believe that they're pretty rusty. I don't really think I can salvage them, but I'm going to look at them and see before I throw that rest of it away. But at this point, the only other thing I might get is that headliner center bar right there. This 54 didn't have it in it, but that would be a good thing to have if you're ever going to put a headliner in a thing. See, we don't have one in this truck. So I don't know. I may cut that out. I probably will cut it out. I don't know if I'll put it in or not, but I think I'll get that out. And that's probably going to be about all that I'm really going to need out of this truck, I'm thinking. Yeah. So anyway, there we go. I feel like we made some good progress getting that out. We will I'm not sure. I may wrap up the video here, or I'll probably make the next video on getting the floor out of this one and getting my new floor prepped to go back in here. So I'll show you some of the things I've got to do to make that happen. Anyway, I think I'm going to call that good. We'll sign off here at Crazy Dad's Garage on this video and get it out there to you so you can start seeing the fun that we're having playing with these old trucks. So there you go. It's Eldon again, signing off from another episode of Crazy Dad's Garage. And we will talk to you again soon. Everybody have a fun weekend.